Okay, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the drawing tutorials. So, I did try to film this on my phone. Unfortunately it's having some trouble recording for some reason. So I'm doing this via webcam. I hope the quality is okay, and if so, I may be continuing with this because I currently don't have a camera that I can just record with. So what we're going to be doing today is some shading. So what I'm going to do to begin with is let's go ahead. Probably got fingerprints all over this. Hello. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go and draw around a circle. You can go ahead and use anything that you'd like, really. So let's go ahead and just begin with this. Coffee cups are pretty good for this as well. And you can use a protractor if you wanted to, if that's your option. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove that. So we've got a nice little circle right here, and we're going to go ahead and put the sun in this corner right here. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So I might as well tell you at this point in the tutorial as well, before we continue, you're going to need a HB pencil, and you're also going to need one of these, which is a 6B pencil. You can use like did I say HD pencil? I meant HB like that. So HB pencil and 6B. If you guys can see that, and the camera likes to focus for me, thank you very much. So yeah, we're gonna go with these two. So all you need to do really is a circle. We've got the light coming from this side. Now, depending on where you want the light to come from is dependent on where the shadow is going to sit. So with a prior version that I did the shadow coming from the side here, but unfortunately my phone didn't save it properly. So what I'm going to do this time is we'll have the light just slightly in front of the circle right here, and we'll make this a sphere. So what I'm going to do, instead of just having it kind of like a light spot right here, and this is where the lightest part of the drawing is going to be, what I'm going to do is kind of do almost kind of like a round little point right here, and this will be the point where we don't put any graphite. So what I'm going to do to begin with on this tutorial is we'll go ahead and we'll go around the edges a little bit. So let's go ahead and just shade this. You're going to want this as the deeper shade just around the edges right here. I'll just go shade, 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 shade. And so what we're going to do is just bring this around to the back as well. You want a tiny little bit of shade just on the corner right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and just shade this in. Just little bits. Just right here. So it's just... I'm just going to outline this roughly. So you want that nice little kind of, you want this to be lighter right here, a little bit of shade just here. And all we're going to do is just go ahead and join those two up. So the idea is, deeper the shade on the edges, and then we're going to get lighter as we go through. So just trust the process at the moment, because what we're going to be doing is doing a little bit of smudging, and then the other pencil that we have, which is the B6 right here, that is going to be the deeper tones for our drawing. So just join that up just there, and then we're just going to go ahead and do another bit of shade, but this one is going to be a little bit lighter. As such, lighter, lighter, lighter as you go into the back right there. I'm going to have to change positions here. I've got a microphone sat right in front of me, and I can't see. I tried to put it in the best place that I possibly could, but unfortunately it doesn't happen. So lighter and lighter and lighter as you get to the middle. Don't worry if it's not perfect at the moment, we will amend that. So deeper, lighter, lighter, lighter. As such, just get that nice rough edging done. And then we're going to come over here as well. This might be best. So deeper, there, and lighter. I'm just going to do some squiggles. Just trust the process. Okay, so once we've got to this part right here, what we're going to do, this is a HB pencil, this is slightly movable, if that's the correct word, so you can actually smudge it. So start from the edge, smudge, and slowly work your way into this point where you've got the lightest bit of our design, and you just want to go ahead and just really smudge that in. Don't worry, you can go over it afterwards if you've still got the lines there. Just really smudge it in. Don't worry about getting this wrong at this stage, because we're all at the learning stage, and we have erasers, or as they like to call them in the UK, rubbers, but apparently a rubber is something different in the US, so I'm going to call it an eraser for the purpose of these tutorials. So once we've got to that point, we've got some nice shading going on, what I'm going to do actually, because this camera is quite bright actually, let's go a little bit deeper just around those edges, and then we'll do another layer of shade, because my camera, for some reason, I did try to amend the saturation and the gamma on the camera because it was slightly off. It is quite bright, so let's, for the purposes of the camera, pull some of this shade in a little bit. Don't forget your nice thin line around this side as well. Okie dokie. Right, so I'm just going to go ahead and define some more of this around the edges. Just going to pull that in a little bit more. As I said, don't worry if it's not perfect to begin with. Remember that we have our light on this side, so everything's going to be hitting here. Just go ahead and shade that out. A bit more thicker on this side. And as I said before, heavy on the outside, light on the in. Such. So now we can start to pull this round again. Little circles are best. Let's make this a bit deeper right here. Try and get rid of some of those excess lines. Just go around. Don't worry about getting the graphite on the outside of the circle, we can amend that later on. Just have something like that. I'm just going to go ahead and just do a little bit more shading on this side. Oopsie. Some light tones. a little bit of scribble kind of here. So you should have something like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my eraser, and we're just going to get rid of our little notes that we did before, the lighter part of the sphere. Just go ahead, just rub that in on the sides, and then we're going to go ahead and add a little bit more, or erase some of that graphite. Just kind of blend that around the outside there. So now we have this nice little graphite look. The light is sitting right here, so we need to put the shadow here. So to do that, what I'm going to do, you can go ahead and make notes on this to begin with if you'd like. So got the shadow coming here. I'm going to want it to go into this direction somewhat, but because this is a sphere and the base is here, it's going to come this way. So let's try and get this somewhat around this side. I have no clue what's going on outside, if you can hear that. Sounds like some teenagers messing around. So you're going to want to get this to the base right here. Bring this round. Just going to want to base right here, and then get the shadow to follow that, just as such. And obviously we've got the light coming from this side, so we're going to probably want to pull this outward just here. So we have our little notes right there, and what I'm going to do, where's my eraser gone? Right, let's get rid of this. We don't need that. Got this line coming nicely to the base right there. I think we should go with this kind of curve here. Get rid of this. Oops, as such. Maybe, because the light's coming from this side, we could go a little bit sharper just here and come round. Bring this just to here, and then I'm going to amend the back as well. Don't worry if it takes you a couple of goes. Ah, I see, it's 4 o'clock. I think Kiddywinks are coming home. That's what I'm hearing. So let's go ahead and just amend. Oops, we just kind of erased some of the sphere there. Don't worry about it if that happens. There we go. No one saw. Right, okay, so I can see on camera right here we have some smudges just going around the edges right here, and then some smudges right here. We can go ahead and amend that with the eraser. That's no problem. But the shadow, I think we should go there. Or maybe something of a kin. Should we try it? You can only try, can't you? So, if we do a thick line just around the sphere, we can amend the shadows afterwards, don't worry about it. And then what I'm going to do is, let's go for a nice thick line going around the underside of the sphere right here. Remember, this is still with the HB pencil. I've not used the other pencil as of yet. I'm going to use that other one for deeper tones. Okie dokie, so just like we did with the sphere, deeper here, and as you go outwards, lighter. So, this point, you start going lighter. And all I'm going to do is just brush this out just slightly. Just kind of have that blur on the shadow a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and just kind of fill the rest of this in. Heavier here, lighter here. So we're starting to make that shadow a little bit more. Now what I'm going to do is just get rid of our note lines right here. Let's go around the edge there. I'll go ahead and just meld that out just a little bit more. So we've got that nice fade coming through. So what I would say as well, I think some of the lighting should come this way. So I'm just going to go ahead and amend that. Just keeping the shape with the ball as well. So don't worry if you get the shade wrong the first time, you can always redo it. That's not a problem. So I think something like this. Maybe we could have a little bit of feathering just at the side right here. Just to pull that shadow out just a little bit. Because if we had the sun down here, the shadow would be really long, but the sun is up here, so the shadow is a little bit more shorter. So I'm just going to go ahead and just fill in this, a little bit of cross hatching. For about here. Get that nice shade coming through. Now I notice that you've got a difference between here and here, which is no problem. Just go ahead and add a little bit more. So once we've got something like this, let's go ahead and rub this back in, and we'll go ahead and neaten up a few things that we have neglected to do so. So, a bit more of that. A bit more graphite here. Just going across, just trying to blend those two little bits in. And then I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit of an edging right here so it's a bit deeper. So you should have something like this. Now, we need to use the eraser right here and just neaten up some of the features of the sphere. Let's get rid of anything that we don't need essentially. So any smudges that have happened, any oopsies, just go ahead and get rid of those. If you accidentally hit the sphere, it's fine, just redo your lines. So I'm going to use the longer side of the eraser right here and just get rid of any blemishes. Oops. We've exploded. No matter. I guess that's what happens when you get an eraser with a sharpener attached to the end of it. Oh, well, that just made it worse. Okay, bear with me. There we go. Oopsie doopsie fixed. So, because I've just brushed all that, I now have a few lines right there. Let's go ahead and neaten that up as well. Right, okay, so we have all that, and I have sharpenings all over my computer. Wonderful. That'll be an easy clean up later on, I'm sure. We're going to go ahead and we're going to switch pencils. So we were working with this pencil, which was the HB. We're now going to work with this pencil, which is the 6B. So this one, we're going to use it for a little bit of darker tones just around the edge. You see how this is a little bit darker now. Just want to go ahead and just define certain attributes into this. This is great for shade as well. So we're just going to go ahead and just put some definition just on the outside of the sphere right here. Just around the edges, so. Easy does it. And then, once we've got this, we'll go ahead and we'll just shade where we have prior, just around the edge. And what you'll find with this one is it really likes to spread. It's quite malleable, so to speak. And you can shade a little bit on here, just a very light shade. The edgings. And you'll find that this one rubs in a little bit better than the HB did. Just around the edge there. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of shade just along the border right here. Maybe a little bit more just up here, just for some definition. Okay. Just kind of work that in a little bit more. And what I'm going to do, you can get 6B, you can get 5B, you can get different ones, and you can get H. Now, a 6B tends to be a softer pencil, so we could go a little bit deeper into the sides right here and just improve the shade. And we're just going to go and do what we did with the HB pencil. So we go lighter as we go in. And just remember your light spots right here, so easy does it. very gentle around the side, little bits. Sparsely just shade that in, and then we come from the lighter bit and just go outwards. I'm just going to do some more little layers right here just to blend this in a little bit more. As such. And then the best part that I like is just doing this. Getting rid of some of that in the middle right there, and then just gently blending that in as such. But because this is a circle, we're going to want to go with a nice little arc. So just go ahead and blend that in. And we can just add some more here, and then just go ahead and pull that one inwards as such. I think make that a little bit deeper so it looks like it's a little bit shinier, and then deepen these sides as well. How's that? Do you think that'll be okay? It's like, it's really bright on the camera that I have, but my version of this is it's deeper. I'm just going to go ahead and just amend those shadows a little bit. And then maybe we could just lightly pull them out at the back as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and just neaten everything off where I've made the oopsies, and I think we should be done with this. Yeah, so I did this about 40 minutes ago, something like that, and my camera didn't record. I mean, like, that was the version that I've just made for you guys right now, and I don't know whether practice makes perfect, but this was the version that I did prior. So that was the first version that didn't record properly, and that's the second version. So what I'm trying to show you here is practice makes perfect. If it's not perfect the first time, don't worry about it, try it the next time. So sorry, I'm stuttering like crazy. So first attempt, second attempt, have fun with it, and I will see you in the next tutorial. See you later. Bye. Thank you for watching.